everyone, my name is Tom Scrallo and welcome to my YouTube channel where we talk all things trading, finances and money in general. Now, I'm still in Dubai doing some things, driving all over the place, taking care of stuff, dealing with the UAE bureaucracy, but there is nothing against it, so I gotta do what I gotta do. Now, today's topic, and I have about 10 minutes to film another short video for you guys. Quite a lot of you have asked me, so how did I actually get into trading? Was I pursuing trading all my life? And how did it all come about? And etc, etc. So it is quite an interesting story, and in some of the videos I think I've mentioned it briefly, but I was never looking to become a trader, because trading is something like you want to become a lawyer, you just go to a law school. You want to become a doctor, you go to a medical school. If you want to become an accountant, and etc. So you already are getting the idea of what I'm about to say. So you cannot really study trading anywhere. And the only way to study trading is trust somebody online, or perhaps at this point somebody like me to actually teach you how to trade properly. And at some point I did try to do some trading, and I thought that I knew what I was doing, and it was back when I was around 15 years of age, so it was many years ago, more than 10 years ago now. And of course I failed miserably, just like so many other beginner traders, and thinking that you know the market quite well, but in reality just the luck runs out and you start losing a shit ton of money. So the same thing happened to me, but I've lived in the States, in the United States, for many years, and that's where I was actually going to the university. So I do have a higher education, and my dream was to get into Harvard Law School. So I wanted to become a lawyer. So that was my whole purpose all my life, and I've never thought about trading at all. But then I think it was once I've gotten my bachelor's degree, so I still had to go to actual law school, pass the law school's admissions test, the LSAT, and those of you who are from United States or Australia or places like that, then you know what LSAT is. And I was starting to study for it, and I was doing quite a lot of small, ridiculous businesses on the side, which there is actually a video about in my YouTube channel as well, so you can check that out. So I was hustling, I was basically buying and selling things, so some simple, regular speculation, but it did provide me with some cash to actually pay partly for my education, and actually have some small capital to actually start a business with, or etc. So, and that's when I've met my mentor, and it was thanks to one of my relatives who introduced me to that guy. And he's a Swiss, well, I think he's a German national living in Switzerland, and we became quite good friends. At the time he was almost 50 years old. He's never had a son or a child at all. He's a trader until this day, but he is more into institutional type of trading, and he's managing funds for clients. So, and he's managing huge amounts of money. And he said, we became such great friends, once again thanks to one of my relatives, that he said that listen, Thomas, how about you give up on everything in your life, travel to Switzerland, stay with me for a couple of months, and I'll show you the ropes in the world of trading, investments, day trading, hyperactive, high-risk strategies, long-term, low-risk, low-return strategies, and etc, etc. So when I was quite young, quite, I should maybe say stupid, but quite, I was always up for some kind of an interesting, adventure. So I said yes right that very moment, and I was ready to give up on my law school dream, to stop studying for my LSAT, to lose the chance of getting a United States citizenship, and so that's what I was working towards for many years as well. And I just said, you know what, I don't really know you, but let's go to Switzerland and learn how to trade. And yeah, that's pretty much what happened. And I went to Switzerland. I've stayed for quite a while with him, and he was showing me all the ropes, and that's how basically I got into trading. And then all the money that I had saved up for all my buying and selling, so my speculation business in the States, that's the money that I've used for my initial deposit, which was around $17,000. And of course I started with hyperactive risky stuff, because it did not make absolutely any sense to actually start long-term portfolio building with $17,000. I mean, it doesn't really make sense to do it with $100,000 because the potential return potential is around 20 to 30% at best per year. So having 5,000 or 10 or 20,000 in your trading deposit, I mean, it doesn't really make that very much sense. So I had to go for the high risk strategy stuff, and that's what I did. And I started with too much money, and as I always say to all of my students, start with as little money as possible, and you'll see exactly why that is. And it's because of your trading psychology. Those $17,000 plus minus, it was pretty much everything that I had to my name. So, and I basically went all in, and I should have started with something like 2, 3, 4,000. And of course, you cannot really day trade stocks, especially if you're a United States citizen. Then you cannot day trade stocks with less than 25,000 dollars in your account. But you can still day trade futures and some ridiculous stuff like CFDs. But there is no way around it. Some mini futures and maybe the Russian stock market with Russian futures, actually a really great market for. It's not very popular because it's hard to access, but it is quite an awesome place to trade. It's not that very hectic, and the moves are more or less smooth and in my personal opinion ever so slightly easier to predict, and the success rate of traders according to my own trading statistics is a little bit better than on the European or United States futures or stocks. So, and so my first trading deposit, I almost pissed it all away, and unfortunately, because of, again, I started with too much money and I was too frustrated, and it was just the trading psychology has almost broken me completely. Then thanks to my mentor, to his support, his psychological support as well. And by the way, he did not give me any money. That's the thing. He said, Thomas, I can pay for your living, for your travels, blah, 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 but I'm not gonna give you money to work with. It's gonna have to be your own money, and this is very important. I tell all of my students that they must trade with their own money, never borrow money to trade with. This is the worst bloody idea that you can do. Your trading psychology is gonna be completely in the wrong direction. Hello, Mr. Boss. Your trading psychology is gonna be shit, and it's gonna be very, very difficult for you. So yeah, I've lost quite a lot of money in the very beginning, but then it came down to 3,000 something euros, around $4,500 at the time. It was a different exchange rate. Once I've actually fixed my trading psychology with the help of my mentor, I got back into trading step by step with a lot of practice, and I started building from there. And it took me quite a lot of time to make anything out of 3-4 grand, because it's not that very much money, and you cannot expect to make millions out of it in 3 weeks. So it was just step by step, $500 here, $200 there, $100 here, maybe on an amazing day, $700. And it was, as my deposit grew, the amount of traded contracts increased as well. And at some point I moved on to full futures, which is $25 or euro per point. So as I got into full futures, that's when the things started taking off very, very rapidly, and my deposit was growing faster and faster and faster and faster. Of course, it was with ups and downs and ups and huge ups and huge downs with record losses per day, per week, and per month. It's all part of this job. But that's basically, and I've been into it for over almost 8 years now, and in the recent year I've moved more into education, so creating my learning program and promoting it and doing all the cool videos, traveling the world. And even with COVID, I try to travel as much as I can to enjoy life, to make content, and enjoy the communication with all of my amazing students and see how they develop. And quite a few students are working with real money already and showing great profits, so it is nothing but joy for me. So yeah, that's pretty much my short story. If you have any specific extra questions about some details, feel free to message me on Instagram, and there's going to be a link to one of my trading webinars in the description as always. So if you haven't seen it, please check it out. It's going to be worth your while. It's one of the best free trading webinars in the world at the moment. And so thank you for watching, and big hi from sunny Dubai, and I'll see you all in the next videos. Cheers.